So, hello everyone. Reverend Joslyn Mason, the Senior Minister of Unity of Kalamazoo. Reverend Joslyn Mason, the Senior Minister of Unity of Kalamazoo. And I want to share some inspiration with you today on this Saturday, March the 13th, in the year 2021. And empathy is our word for today. Empathy. And our affirmation is empathy is my eyes and softens my heart. Empathy opens my eyes and softens my heart. Empathy opens my eyes and softens my heart. If I do not understand where another person is coming from, I may be tempted to close my mind and my heart. Practicing empathy helps me expand my perspective. When I place myself in the shoes of another and strive to comprehend as they do, I show compassion through my desire to understand. Deeper than mere listening, empathy helps me see the world through another's eyes. As I take on a new perspective, I can more easily appreciate how another person's views or how another person views the world and the viewpoints of others. Empathy keeps me centered in the awareness that all people are divine and equal as children of God. Powerful words. And our scripture comes from Matthew chapter 9, verse 36. And they're talking about Jesus. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. Mm. We know that Jesus is the good shepherd. And so we know that we don't always understand another person or where they're coming from. But the old saying is walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my moccasins, walk a mile in my clogs, whatever, walk a mile in my boots, whatever it is that people are using to get through life. It's a metaphor. Walk a mile in someone else's life. Listen to things from their perspective. A lot of times we're very, very willing to share our ideas about what we think about things. And sometimes we can be a little egotistical about our beliefs. But empathy says, well, this is what I believe. What do you believe? What's your life like? What has your experience been? How have you been affected by economics, healthcare, anything that you may yourself be experiencing as being really positive and good? But how is it affecting someone else? What does it mean for them to be an immigrant coming into this country? What does it mean for someone who doesn't have children and you have children? You must learn to empathize with other people. It's good to listen to them, it's true, but it's also good to think. So, if that was my life, what would that be like? What is it like to have that experience? Instead of just saying, oh, they're just whining, they're just complaining, oh, they make excuses. No, try to see things from their perspective. I love what Jesus said when he looked out at the people, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless. They were like sheep without a shepherd. And we know in the 23rd Psalm, it's all about the shepherd leading the sheep beside the still waters, leading them to rest, taking them to places where they could graze and where there was more. That's not necessarily our job in this respect, but for us to have empathy and compassion for others is one of the spiritual ideals of saying that we are followers of people like Jesus or the Buddha or whoever, that we have compassion, we have empathy, because that is saying that could be me. And that also says, I want people to have empathy for me and my ideas. And perhaps my ideas, I've come to these ideas because of certain circumstances in my life and in my experience. So empathy opens up the door to take on a new perspective, to be able to appreciate how another person views the world and the viewpoints of others outside of yourself, outside of your household, outside of your core group. Empathy keeps each of us centered in the awareness that all people are divine and equal as children of God. For we are created as one. We are expressions of the one God, the true, omnipotent, immanent spirit of all that there is. So let's be empathetic. Let's not always have to be right or think we know the answers or assume that we know why a person is in a certain status or why this happened or that happened. But let us have empathy. Let us have compassion. Let us look and imagine ourselves in their place. And let us listen more deeply so that we might understand them more fully. In our world, there are certain things that people want and need: love, a sense of belonging, and opportunities to live their pursuit of happiness, whatever that may be. So let's be empathetic with others and let's be generous in our awareness of allowing and seeing everyone as equal children of God. I behold the Christ as you. Namaste and peace. And know that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us as the presence of God watches over us, going before us. Wherever we go, wherever we are, God is there and all is well. And yay, God, for empathy. The more empathy we have toward others, the more kinder and generous the world can be. Peace and namaste.